90s classic. Feeder. High. Just say no, kids. How are you? So it's that bit in it between Christmas and New Year. I mean, I don't particularly like New Year, so it's not like I'm going, oh, come on, let's get to New Year. That's the good bit. In fact, I prefer this bit to New Year. Anyway. Well, not this last couple of years, it's been fine. But usually New Year is horrible. I have to, I'm like Cinderella. I have to be home by midnight because everyone goes fucking mental. It's like they feel that they haven't had a good time unless they're having their stomach pumped in a hospital somewhere. So, no. Hope your Christmas was okay. Ours was the usual. Again, the pandemic doesn't really affect our Christmas, but it was great, yeah. And I think 1 or 2 days is enough, and get back to work now. Again, Christmas, it's like, I do like Christmas because I can't do anything. I can't call anyone or worry about work or send an email. But apart from that, it's pretty much like any other day to me. People say, well, yeah, but everyone eats and drinks too much Christmas. I go, yeah, but I do that every day of the year. So, good, right. Let's answer some questions. Fox, hey Ricky, I have a question. Good. If aliens came to Earth and kidnapped you and you were lying there with your arse up, waiting for you know what one question would you ask? I'd probably say, how's my prostate? Is that all right? That's a worry at my age. Is it? While you're there. Why would they do that? I assume, I don't know where that came from. Them just probing, putting a big finger up there. Was it because it was? Do we assume that aliens have got some sort of magical power? They can sort of like, download your thoughts, but only via the arse. Like they can know all the secrets. Like those smartphones that suddenly get all your record library and stuff. Like they just stick the finger up the arse and they download all your thoughts. I assume you mean what one question would I ask them to help humanity. We talk about this actually on Absolutely Mental. We've just finished the 10th episode of that, recording it. So now it takes ages to get it all lovely and shiny and put it on the website. So in the new year, another 10 Absolutely Mentals. Get the first 20 if you haven't already. People love it. It's and it's more and more. It's got, I don't know. It's got more fun and more sort of self-helpy and questions like that. Well, how would you save humanity and stuff? And obviously I ruin it all by being stupid. But yeah, what would I ask? What did Sam Harris say he'd ask? I'd spoil it, wouldn't it? If I told you, you got to listen to it. What one question would I ask? I think I know. I remember what Sam would ask. An all-powerful, all-knowing alien. I remember what he'd say. If they knew the future, would you ask about the future? You see, like we had a big argument about that. Would you like to know the date of your death? And I said no, and Sam said definitely. He willingly wanted to. Like it wasn't even a bad choice for him. He'd love that opportunity. I'd just be so stressful, just knowing the day. But he said he could live his life better and plan it. I know I'm going to die, but it makes it so much better that I don't know when, I think. Difficult, isn't it? What do you think? Know your date of your death or not? You can't unknow it, can you? Once you... what one question? Yeah, I wouldn't ask them that. I'd say... I'd ask for clues. I'd say, what day should I stay in the future? Right? What day should I be careful crossing the road? Val, if you had the chance to learn a new skill in 2022, which would be useful in your everyday life, what would it be? Apart from learning to fly a jetpack without killing yourself, thanks. Oh, that would be great. It's still my favourite thing in the world. The idea of that. Just taking off. Oh, it'd be amazing, wouldn't it? I'm not allowed that one though. What about learning like to fly a helicopter? It's just the learning bit, isn't it? As I said, I think, I wish I could speak different languages, but it's the learning bit. If I could just take a pill for everything. So take a pill for French, bonjour. Be amazing, wouldn't it? That's the future. I suppose they'll have that soon, won't they? When they've got the little Google chip in your head. It comes out that just comes out French. You don't even know. You're just speaking English, but it's coming out French. Is that an invention? Have I just invented that, or have you got to put some work in? Imagine we go to Dragon's Den like that. I go, okay, what it is? It's a little like an application that you put in your brain, and you talk English, but it comes out French. They'll be going, that's amazing. How does it work? I go, I don't fucking know. You've got the fucking work to do. Just fucking, you're on 50%. Then I do it. Skill. Piano. Learning piano. I mean, I could do this, couldn't I? It's not like this is like far-fetched. If I wanted to, I could do anything in 2022. I could learn French. I could learn to play the piano. I could learn to fly a helicopter, but I won't. Fuck it. I won't. Oh dear. This chair is so squeaky. What's your favourite new music, band, artist or song in the last year? Oh, that's easy because I'm obsessed with... I've heard bits and pieces of them, but I keep playing this song. I even tweeted them. Vancouver Sleep Clinic. It's so beautiful. They're so sort of honest and yeah. Check them out. Just put in YouTube. I'm confused. Google YouTube, right? And Vancouver Sleep Clinic. Sort of indie, beautiful, not ambient, but like, you know the type of thing. The sort of stuff I'd stick on Afterlife. That sort of stuff. Rachel, why do you think we became creatures of habit? I don't know. I suppose because we like things that work, don't we? We evolved that way. We did things that worked, so we survived. A lot of it is hardwired, isn't it? And group selected that we do the same thing every day because it works. But I think it's more on an individual level, not on if you're not talking about the species, on an individual level, I think people get set in their ways because it's comforting. That's why we don't like change. I think that's why there's so much anxiety around at the moment with the pandemic, because it's not even the fear of the disease anymore. It's I can't plan anything. I don't know what's going to happen in 2 weeks. I don't know. I don't want to put a gig on. I don't want to arrange a holiday. I don't want to, because I don't want to cancel it. And that frustrates us because we want to be in control of our own destiny. Particularly me. The slightest thing that goes wrong, I go cancel everything. That's not what we agreed. Right? I'm a creature of habit. I think it's that. I think it's sort of being in control of your own destiny, even though we're not, really. But why do people suddenly say, "Oh, let's go to a different restaurant"? I think, well, no. We know this restaurant's brilliant. I know the seat I want. I know what I'm going to have. Why are we changing that? Let's do that every day. I can't take the chance. I can't take the chance of going to a restaurant and hating it. I can't have that time back. Kinner, are you planning on running a writing masterclass in 2022? Oh, I said I might, didn't I? Online or in person. I'd love to join it. I'd never do it in person, I don't think. Well, I do like those things I do, and I do like a talk, like, you know, those things, you know, I talk about Afterlife to launch it, you know, and the posh papers sell tickets and you do one of those, you know, New York Times talks. I enjoy those. I really enjoy those. And I've enjoyed doing the ones, you know, for like film schools and that. I really enjoy that. But, you know, maybe one day I'll do a tour of that. And I was going to do it online because I said about this about a year ago, didn't I? During the pandemic when, but I'll probably never get round to it. But I still would love to do something like that one day. Take questions and like one long inside the actor's studio. But again, it's one of those things that I've got about 25 projects that I could do, and you know, you can only choose one. You can only do one at a time. But it's certainly it's an option. Glenn, can we please have a Derek movie? Think of the joy it would bring to the world. Anyone on Twitter agrees with me? Probably not. It's a lot of work to do a movie, and you know, a comedy movie. I sometimes think a comedy movie, when there's The Godfather, I sometimes think a comedy movie is a waste of a movie, even though, you know, like Spinal Tap is like one of my favourite things in the world. The thing with comedy movies, when there's been a sitcom, the thing with comedy movies is it's completely different. Because there's a beginning, middle and end. And with a sitcom, it's all middle. There's no beginning. You start, bang, and you go through and you end up, bang, back where you started. It's all middle. Whereas a film, and that's what's the joy of it. That's what's the joy of watching Derek. It's the same situation, the same sort of characters, doing their day and ending back at square one, just like real life. A film, everything's got to move, everything's got to change, everything's got to develop in 90 minutes. And that's good and bad to me. And it loses the good bit about what a sitcom is, for me. Also, I'm too lazy. To do a film, it's as much work as a series, but then a series, I don't know, you get more joy from it in a way, and it's there forever. You can do a sequel, whereas a sequel to a film, people go, well, the first one wasn't that great. So, you know what I mean? Whereas they accept it that you're going to do another. But maybe a special. I've done a special though. It's unlikely, and I love Derek as well. I absolutely love it. I look back at all the daft things we did in Derek, and I absolutely love it. And it was just a tiny little thing, no big ambition, you know, on purpose. Nothing really happened. It was just a little thing about an odd guy who chose kindness over everything else, and I love doing it. But I think you've got to move on, really. But thank you, Welsh Felix. Yeah, you awaken to find that you are a woman. Okay. Right. Welsh Felix is trying to get me in trouble. You awaken to find that you are a woman, but you get to keep one traditionally manly quality or attribute that you think would make it easier to be a woman. What would you choose? I'd probably just keep the penis. Because even though I'm a woman, that is useful, isn't it? When camping. So you don't have to like find a bush to like squat behind, and you just go against a fence or something, or just pop it out a hole in a tent. Then people would go, "What's that? What's that coming out of old Mrs. Gervais's tent?" And I found, wait, that's her old knob. She uses that to wee. This is mental, isn't it? None of it is my fault. If anything I've said has offended you, I'm answering a question from a cat. Right? So, none of this. What the fuck am I doing with you lot? What a bunch of losers. I'm including myself in that. Right. Fab 4 sisters. Question. Our mum can't watch a full episode of The Office. David Brent makes her cringe, but she loves David Brent Life on the Road, which she's seen a few times. Why do you think she can watch one but not the other? I think it's because of the things I sort of touched on before, that it's relentless, The Office with David Brent. It's all middle. He's always going to say something cringy and keep trying and never get anywhere. Whereas in the film, it moves faster, so there's an adventure for him. And even though it's still good, there's something coming. So I think the journey, the narrative, and the plot and the speed of a movie helps you ride through those excruciating things in The Office. Also, because the backdrop, he's on the road, he's playing music. It helps drive through the cringe, whereas when it's a quiet office and he's embarrassed himself, it's so much more painful, I think. But thank you for watching it. Yeah. Salt and sauce. Are you a slippers man? I am. I love a slipper. I've got a couple of pairs here. Got a couple of pairs in New York. Couple of pairs in our house in the country. Always love a slipper. With a sock. I have a bath. I have like some special socks, but they're softer than my usual socks. They're all old and beaten up and soft and warm. Soft sock, lovely little slipper. Do you know what I mean? And that's not because I'm old. I've loved a slipper since I was about 29. I don't like walking around in shoes, or I don't like wearing shoes. I don't wear shoes. I wear shoes. I wear shoes like half a dozen times a year. If I go to an award ceremony, if I'm up for an award, I'll put some shoes on. Any other time, can't be asked. I don't even wear shoes on like chat shows and stuff, or go to posh restaurants. I wear a little pair of trainers, thank you very much. I'm comfortable. If you don't want me in your restaurant, that's fine. But I'm wearing trainers. So I have a bath, gym jams on, lovely little pair of socks, slippers. You do the math. Thanks for your question. Daniel, how many episodes of Afterlife 3 are released on Jan 14th? All of them. Can you tell us anything about any new characters joining Series 3? Are there any scenes in the new series which you consider more emotional than previous episodes. Other work you've done. Right, 6 episodes, but the last one is a little bit longer. It wasn't planned, but there was so much to... Because I knew it was the final series, there was so much to sort of... what's the word? Sew up. So it's 6.5 hours, and the last one's a bit longer. Not much. It's not like a big special or anything. It's just a bit longer. Yes, they all drop at once. New characters joining. Well, there are a couple of new characters, but I've mainly concentrated on what I thought was the most important ones of all the characters you've seen, and it comes down to the core, half a dozen characters. Really, I think that's the better way to do it than try and, do a night of 1,000 stars type thing. But you'll see most of them, and there's a chance. I like the sort of news stories. That's a chance to have cameos. So, for example, is this a spoiler? Kath. It's not. Is it a spoiler? Right, Kath has a couple of dates, and they're excruciating. But one is with the great Tim Key, who's amazing. Kate Robbins does a bit, which is great. Who else? Ewan McIntosh, Big Keith, great, really great cameo. That's all. That's all I'm telling you. There is an emotional thing. So, there's one bit. Well, there's emotional scenes throughout, as you probably guessed, but there's one bit in 6 it's relentless. In a good way, I think, but it's beautiful. It's sad and beautiful. So you write the script for 6 months, 9 months, whatever, and you want it to be real and emotional, and you think that'd be good. Then you film it, and it's good, it's emotional. Then you edit it down, and then you watch it 70 times in the edit. I was watching it 70 times, and then you stop. You get used to it. Then you put the music on, and but there's one bit that still gets me when I watch it back in 6, and I think it might be up there with the most emotional things I've ever done. Just because it's so honest and sad, and I don't mean me. There's a performance in it that's and it's not me. That's pretty amazing. Otis, do you believe in things like luck, karma, or fate? If so, do you have any lucky charms, rituals? I don't know. I believe in luck. We know what luck is. Something that was out of control that just happened. Something is good or bad, so we know that. But there's nothing supernatural about luck. There's no, the universe doesn't give you things that he thinks you deserve. It's impartial. It just does what it does. You're not involved in the decision. Fate. Fate again is luck. If people say, that people say, me and my husband, we met on a train. It was incredible. I don't usually get that train, and he doesn't usually get a train. We met on the train. Just a coincidence. But there's 1,000 of those every day, and it seems like it was meant to be. It seems like the universe was with you. But again, it's just a coincidence. Karma. Again, that's like, we say that when we think someone deserves what they get, bad luck or good luck. And again, we somehow think there's a power involved in the universe, but I don't think there is. But I do believe, and this isn't karma. This is logical and more scientifically based. I think. I do think that if you're a good person, you do good things, and you're nice to people, you're much more likely to get that back because of the way people want to be treated. So I think in that sense, people who live a good, honest life deserve a good, honest life, and I think they're more likely to get it. If you're going around and you're an arsehole to everyone, you get in fights, and that'll come back because people are involved. So I don't believe there's a God and a devil and a will to the universe and karma and all that. But I do believe you're more likely to have a good life if you're a good person. And be nice to dogs. Maggie, when you were originally writing Afterlife, did you recognise you were addressing a topic that would deeply resonate with so many, that you were illuminating an aspect of grief so many would relate to, but not openly acknowledged? No, I didn't really. I didn't think of that. It was a jumping off point. And then after the first series, so many people came up to me. We got letters, and more and more, I realise it resonates with people. Everyone's grieving at some point. Everyone's gone through something, and it gives them a chance to talk about it, and people like recognising themselves. Even something as terrible as Tony going through grief and being angry and sad and lashing out against the world. People said, I was like that. So I think it makes them, it makes them feel normal or not alone. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but even as I said, I told you last time, therapists have told me that they like it, and people that they're helping like the show because it resonates with them. But no. But then once I knew about it, I did put a little bit more work and research into that side of things, and that's why I didn't just snap out of it, because that doesn't always happen. It takes a long time. So yeah. Well, there you go. Did a half hour of absolute bollocks, talking to cats and dogs and parrot, Otis. Talking of dogs, one charity I did something for today. Me and Jane helped them with a bill, and they really need it. Is Dogs on the Street, amazing charity in London. They help homeless people and their dogs. They get the dogs sort of, veterinary treatment and stuff. So if you can help them with a few quid, or ask if they need volunteers, because they do it all themselves. And that's my charity plug for today. Dogs on the Street. And to the other charities, Super Nature, the promoter and everyone, they're totting up the totals for the tour, and I'll be handing out a few quid here and there to some of my favourite charities. I think you know who you are. So yeah, well, there you go. Help animals, be nice to dogs, and you'll get real karma, not that fake stuff. You'll feel good, you'll be good, people will treat you well, and you'll save a dog. So yeah. So download Absolutely Mental, wait for the new series. Afterlife, I'll do one before it comes out, do one of these, or on the day or something. 14th of January. From the level of people that re-watching it and the figures that I've heard about, I think you're going to crash Netflix on the 14th of January. So you got 2 and a bit weeks to watch the first 2 seasons of Afterlife again. And then the third season, absolutely mental. Be nice to dogs. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. Tatty bye, everyone.